Welcome. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is up, Chip? Good to see you today. Man, today, right here on the chain, we are going to talk about Gensler, the SEC. Now, Gensler is bearish on Ripple, bearish on XRP. He came out and actually said that most cryptocurrencies are actually securities. And with all the chaos that's going in the financial market, the mayor of Miami is doubling down on crypto, doubling down on Bitcoin. And we're going to talk about that as well. You ready to kick this thing off, Chip?
Go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Oh,
yeah.
Just like that, we're back.
I was just getting into the music.
Yeah, and so, when you get into it,
man, yeah, it's right. Man, XRP $1.40.
Yep.
That's it. Ethereum over 4,000. Right now it's 39.79.
It's exciting.
It is, man. Litecoin 361. Doge down to 45 cents. And then you got Shiba. You got SHIB and Akita that are up like 2, 3, 4 times already. What's going on? What is going on in this space?
Well, the meme coins are having their day. You know, it's like it's almost like an ICO. Remember the ICO days where everything was going nuts, and it was almost like the .com days. We'd throw something out there to be like, look at this, check this out, and you know, then there's there's Kishu as well. It has like 9 zeros and a 1. 0.000000000 7 or 8 or 9 of them and a 1.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of red right now. Everything's in the red. But there's like resistance levels at the bottom because Litecoin is at $360 right now. And XLM, the Stellar, which was at 73 cents earlier, is now at 66 cents. Man, I'm looking at this market and I'm seeing a little turmoil, you know, with some of the coins like Dogecoin that isn't going to hold up to certain resistance, but Bitcoin holding strong, Ethereum holding strong, BNB holding strong, XRP holding strong, even though they're coming down, but they're holding, you know, and this, you think this is a sign of things to come. What do you think is the next step?
Well, the next step is going to be getting through this lawsuit with this Ripple lawsuit. And as much as we'd like to think of Gary Gensler, Jeff, we kind of called it. Everybody said, oh, Gary Gensler, he's going to come in. He's going to be the guy that's going to save everything. And it turns out he's just another government employee pushing buttons, doing what he's told. Click this button, click that button. You know,
right.
Check out Sweden over here. XRP Sweden.
Nice.
It's 100 SEK there, right there. Bam.
Paid with XRP, man. How sweet is that? That's a Swedish kroner.
Yeah, the kroner. There you go. Purchase with euros has a price that shows in USD. And when the payment's done, it's converted to Swedish kroner. Yeah. Nice. XRP is a security. Right on, dude.
Dude, that's awesome.
Boom. XRP Sweden, bringing it.
Give me some of those Swedish XRPs.
Yeah, he's bringing it. Or some Swedish.
Dude, that's awesome, please. Man. Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. That's the best statement of the night right there. Bought it with XRP that was bought with euro, and then it was converted over to Swedish kroner as he paid it. That's it. That's everything right there. Give that to John.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Have a good
night. Have a good night. And we pretty much settled it right there.
And that's it. That's subtle. Send that to the SEC lawsuit.
Here you go.
Proof right there. That's proof.
Here you go, Gensler. Yeah.
Man.
The Swedes, says Doc's Gambling. That's right. Sweden rules. Damn right. I knew Gensler was a government Well, that's being nice, Ray. Look at Ray being all polite and everything. A civil servant, a government servant. That's about it. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, what's up with your boy Gensler, man? I mean, the guy's a little bit off his rocker.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the way it's supposed to go down. It's supposed to happen this way, and it's supposed to be battled out in court. But I wanted to throw this up here. This is something the New York Times actually wrote an interesting article about.
Wait. The New York Times, an interesting.
Yeah, well, it was semi-interesting. So Eric Lipton penned this thing in the New York Times,
Right.
But it was all about cryptocurrency. And so he says one surefire sign of the emergence of new industry force in Washington is to look where the departed government bigwigs are going. Cryptocurrency is now the big buyer, the refinance sector, GOP and Dems leaving government, cash to burn. And then he goes into, now let's look at Ripple Labs. On the payroll, re-advisory boards, consultants, lobbyists, etc., include 2 top Trump-era Treasury officials, a Trump-era White House official, a lobbying firm run by the just departed Texas GOP lawmaker, and an Obama-era Treasury official. And that is just the start. So how mainstream is crypto, Jeff?
It's massive. It's everything. It's
right.
mainstream. That's it.
Yeah, it was a topic of jokes on Saturday Night Live. Last Elon Musk did his thing, playing a fake financial expert, Lloyd Ostertag, took on Dogecoin. That was when they kept saying, so what is Dogecoin? Well, Dogecoin's cryptocurrency. What is Dogecoin, right? So they started doing that.
They kind of tanked it a little bit. But if you go back up, go up, I think, right there, that when you say it's reached mainstream, that's mainstream. When you've got officials, high-level Treasury officials, like you're saying there, high-level, lobbyists, consultants, board members. You've got the best of the best that are working with this organization, Ripple. They aren't going to put up with an SEC that is lost, trying to figure things out and completely lost. They're not going to just sit back and take it. They're stacking the deck with a who's who, in economics, and it's outstanding.
Right. And those people graduated, right? So, once you get out of government, that's when the real fun begins. When you're in government, it's all push this button and click that thing. And, Gary Gensler is a clown show on steroids. He comes in, he has a chance to be the GOAT, the greatest of all time, right? He has a chance to make his mark and impact. Turns out, just another government employee doing his thing, towing the company line, toe the company line. Jeff, how that's like, sometimes, you have hey, Camp Pendleton, what's up? Oh, that's awesome.
I want to throw
Thank you
this
for
up
serving,
there,
man.
I had to get that up there. Frank XRP, what a burn. What a bum. What a burn.
A burn bum. A bum burn.
A burn. What a bum this Gary guy is turning out to be. What do you think, Chip? Bum? Yes. He needs to hurry and settle this already. I'm disgusted with this whole situation. Appreciate that, Frank. And that's one thing, Chip. We called it right from the get-go. People are putting way too much weight in the Gensler guy because of his lectures at MIT. He's a government official. He's towing the government line. He's towing the line of a specific administration that's stacked to the gills with people that don't care about the advancement of our economy or the advancement of cryptocurrency. They're turning a blind eye to it. They're looking exactly in the opposite direction. I think it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's predictable. I don't think anybody's shocked. No one's sitting here thinking, but I know you always want to be optimistic. But the bottom line is, look, this whole regulation through enforcement thing, it's getting a little bit old. I think we're all getting a little bit tired of it. It's getting weary. And then Gensler, like when Warren Davidson had quizzed him last week, we played that little clip where he used his own words. Like, Chairman Gensler, this is what you said. And he was like, oh, I used to teach a course at MIT. It's free, Like he was just like, kind of cornered him. He didn't know what to say. And it's great. It's like, hey, look, this is how you acted, how you said. And he always goes back to I taught a course and this and that. But this latest thing, Jeff, it just borderlines on idiocy. When he goes out and says, well, Corey, I believe that most coins are going to be cryptocurrencies and nobody does. I mean, you just came in and took over. You're the chairman of the SEC, and this is how you're going to act? You can't let people like that go out in public, Jeff. It's not a good look.
No, we got to put them out of public. And one thing, crypto novice Kim over here says, why is everyone so down about it? As far as I'm aware, Gensler is seeking advice, so it's not like it's his decision alone, which it's not. He came in, he's the chairperson, and he only has so much power and so much authority as he's come in. The lawsuit's already been filed. It's not like he can go in and say, oh, whoa, we made a mistake. Let's pull this back. It's got to run its course. and the attorneys now. And, if there's going to be a settlement, both parties are going to have to sit down and decide on a settlement course. It's not it's not up to Gensler, but what is up to Gensler, like Chip, you just said, is not saying stupid things like he just did, about about all, the majority of cryptocurrencies are securities. I mean, where's this guy coming from? I mean, it just, I got to believe there are quite a few of them out there that will be securities. But to say, the majority of them are, or a lot of them are, I don't know, it could be kind of taken. But here, let me pull up this article because I think
before you do that, Anise says his body language and demeanor screams sell on. Alex Eats wants to know if we're talking about BG123. Not yet. Put that on hold. Put that on hold. We might later, but no, not right now.
All right. Check out the cool shopping cart. All right. So I think there's a few things that were said here. So he confirms that a lot of cryptocurrencies are indeed securities. So it's not even like it's suspect that they may be securities, that we have to analyze them, but they are indeed. It's not like he's analyzed all the cryptocurrencies. He's just making a blanket statement out there, and he has his, thought process. Just because he's smart in MIT and the technology doesn't mean that he's smart in the financial side of things or the legal side of things. I'm sorry. I mean, it just, maybe he's wrong. I mean, he has his opinion, and he's entitled to his opinion. That's great. But I don't know. But the one statement here is paving the way for new legislation. I think that's the one area, that's the one element that could actually be could be smart. That but from their perspective, look what he said. Gensler said that greater investor protection in the realm of cryptocurrencies was the need of the hour. Greater investor protection. What does that say about what their thought process is, what they think about retail investors? They're making these broad assumptions that we're not smart enough to invest on our own without, and it's just not right.
Well, I think, the funny thing about it is that they're completely they're just off the, they're off the, what do you want to call it? They're off the rails. I mean, quite honestly, just off the rails. And him saying that it was the need of the hour, investor protection. Well, how are you going to protect investor when you're 24/7, every government official in this administration, or let's say, Christine Lagarde was on a tear, as she runs the European Central Bank, and saying, there you go, right? Yeah, right. So money laundering, no intrinsic value, buy if you're prepared to lose all your money. Listen, when the so-called elites and smarter than thou people start doing this, one thing is going on here. We are over the target and we are winning because they can't stop it. They won't stop it. They'll threaten everything and talk about how bad it is. But the bottom line is they cannot stop this puppy. And before they start figuring out what's going on, it's really going to be too late. And it's already too late for most of them. They think that they're going to spin up a CBDC. And it's going to be like, oh, everybody loves centralized digital currencies. That's really what we look for, right, Jeff?
That's right. So here you go. Here's another one. Look.
So that's nut job.
So Bank of England governor says cryptocurrency investors should be prepared to lose all of their money. Now, you can make that argument that it's volatile, that it's higher risk, that it's speculative, that you are taking a bit of a risk when you invest in something. But if you margin trade, if you're option trading, whatever it is, there is high risk for losing your money. If you don't know what you're doing, you could go to zero relatively quickly or negative, and so it's not just in the crypto space, but from their perspective, they just think that most investors, even when it comes to stock, they aren't smart enough to discern risk. They can't make a determination on the cost benefit analysis, and they just make an assumption that most investors under a certain category are just not intelligent. That's it. And it drives me crazy. It really does.
I think it drives everybody crazy, but this whole notion that the government's going to explain and they're going to be like the nanny state and they're going to protect us and do all this stuff. Meanwhile, they're doing none of the above. And they're always going to protect us and make our, make everything safe for us. So that because we're not really capable of thinking on our own, Jeff. We don't even know how to spend our own money. We know how to pay taxes.
But look at Mr. Wright. It's the old guard holding on to their money, because notice it's all the old guard that are making these statements. They're all the ones coming out and saying it's bad, it's bad. Oh, we got to protect you. And they realize, the one thing they realize with cryptocurrency is that many have gone beyond the capability of protection by these government officials. They realize that once you go into crypto, you go into a DeFi space, they can no longer do anything to influence and protect you. It makes it a lot more difficult, and it does take away their power. So look at Tapid Line or Tap Line. I don't know. Tap Line. I'm buying more. Know what you own. Know what you buy. I'm buying what the banks are using. There you go.
Sounds like XRP to me. If I smell what you're putting down. Thank you for that, Tap. Appreciate that. Yeah. Look at this one. People who and this is from Josh Vanderplatz. He says people who invest in the stock market should be prepared to lose money. Stupid comment, but listen, people, cryptocurrency is trackable. We lose anonymity. We may get rich, but controlled. Yeah, maybe that's the way it looks now. But look, the stock market is going up and going up and going up, and what goes up must come down. It's not going to go on forever. And you know where the smart money is going to go? Cryptocurrency. Why? Because it has a better chance of rebounding. People are noticing it because they're like, I just put $100 in this meme coin, and now I've got $300. But yesterday, it was a meme coin that was Twitter was blowing up. I put $100 in, and now I have over $300. So, and the point of it is the promise of it, and forget about what it is, right? I mean, it's not the project per se, but it's the whole idea of cryptocurrency. Where do you take a risk in a stock and it 3X's like in 2 days? I mean, you get lucky once in a while, but crypto has an opportunity to deliver high value, high risk, but also some high yield as well.
Dude, your 3 times didn't happen if you bought Coin. If you bought Coinbase, it definitely went negative.
No, I didn't buy it, Jeff.
King Kenny, I often wonder how many politicians have been paid in crypto to get deals done under the table. There you go.
If you're wondering about it, it happened.
And it's pretty easy. A lot of these politicians, their children end up getting jobs in big places, or jobs that they're not qualified for, and they get big expense accounts, and that's a lot of times how payback is made. When they come out of office, or they become big lobbyists. Oh, it just so happens they're hired by the lobbyist that they were lobbied by. And you just, it makes you think. It really makes you wonder how all those paybacks actually do happen. So, and it just so happens. Oh, look at that. Shiba.
Look at this. So this is Lante fake news from Quebec. I know Shiba is pure useless garbage, but I bought some because I have the feeling the noobs going to go hard, and I'm just going to profit on it and buy XRP. And I've known plenty of people that have loaded up on some stuff and took out a quick profit, flipped it, and then boom, an XRP. So there you go. And but the whole idea is that, look at the whole Doge thing. I mean, Doge blew up. Yeah, a lot of people make money. People will get hurt, but a lot of people make money, Jeff.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Then it's something like that you definitely want to have your exit plan in place with a Doge or something like that. I mean, look, perfect example. The Doge was going up over 70 cents, and then Elon Musk goes onto Saturday Night Live, and all of a sudden it's just like, all of a sudden it tanks.
Because he called it a hustle. He goes, "It's a hustle." He goes, "Yeah, it's a hustle." We all knew it was a hustle, but it might be a hustle, but that's just it's kind of the way it just goes, Jeff. It's a hustle, and then all of a sudden, but you think people, because he tanked it? I mean, the whole thing was about it. He did that whole skit on Weekend Update, and now I see that SpaceX is now going to accept Dogecoin. Have you seen this?
No.
Like for entrance, and so it's just like it just doesn't stop. It's just so fun. Gosh, we are living at such a great time. Yeah, so I saw this on Twitter, and you refresh the page, and you know what happens? It disappears. But SpaceX is now. Let me pull this up. I guess, and I was like, well, how is SpaceX actually going to? I guess
Are they
Maybe
paying
it's
their
in their
gas bill in Doge?
maybe it's their gift center. I don't know, Jeff, but I did see that somewhere. SpaceX launching satellite dogs. Well, what the heck? I did see it, Jeff, and who knows? SpaceX accepts Dogecoin as payment to launch the Doge 1 mission to the moon next year. That's what it is.
They should
And
put
the first,
they should put a big Doge logo on the side of the rocket as it shoots. That'd be pretty sweet.
yeah, a giant dog, or something, or a Shibu, or an Inu, or one of these meme.
Yeah,
But
Bitcoin.
thank God, even as goofy as everything's become, these meme coins do make me laugh a little bit. I mean, it is a little bit of fun amongst all of the FOMO that you see, and like a little joke coin like Doge can rise to prominence, and you have probably one of the best known billionaires in the world with Elon Musk, promoting it, and it's just pure fun, Jeff. I mean, that's really what it is. It's not gonna. I don't see it going on forever. It's just kind of like one of these silly periods that we, that we experience.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. If you think about it, if you think about the whole idea behind it.
So look at this one. Hey, can you touch upon the 10 billion XRP that came out of the circulating supply? No. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced it came out of. I see a lot of really bad stats out there, and coin market cap. Once Binance acquired that thing, I deleted that thing from my life. I don't believe anything on there. I don't believe anything that happens on there. It's just me. Maybe I'm a little bit doubtful, but everyone. I did a little bit of research in this 10 billion that came out of circulating supply. I'm not 100% buying it because it's bad stats on some of these. Well, somebody could claim that, well, there's 10 billion missing. What should we do, Jeff? Send a search party? And I'm like, everybody calm down, relax.
So start by sending out the search party.
You see how everyone's all worried about stuff like that? Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah. Rob XRP, thanks guys. Great stream as usual. Nice.
Hey, thank you for that, Rob. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
I'm not 100% sold that it's really out of circulating supply because I've seen a bunch of things, Jeff, and I'm just not 100% convinced. Because I do feel like there's some faulty numbers being generated out there. Like, I'll give you a good case in point. If we go and review, and I'll pull this up, somebody can pull this up, but the Q1 report from Ripple kind of chastised the community, saying you guys got this wrong. And I saw lots of YouTubers echoing the sentiment. Jeff and I were like, I don't think so. And of course, let me see if I can find that. The Q1 Ripple report. I want to get this bad boy. Let's look at this puppy because I want to take us down to this because I think this is probably more of the same here. And let's look at it.
While you're looking for that, did you see that HBAR is now listed on Uphold?
What's that?
Uphold. They just added HBAR. So
I tweeted about it earlier today.
More big tokens dropping on Uphold, more on Coinbase. There's a little bit of a power play right now. It's amazing. It's good.
I think it's amazing. I think it's great. I also think they need to probably, why don't they list XTC as well? I think that needs to be in more places.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would like to see
XTC. I think that's something that has to go out there. Hang on a second, Jeff.
I checked my son's crypto account today. Man, he's crushing it.
That's awesome, dude.
It's great. Oh yeah, it's got Ethereum, XRP. It's doing well. It's amazing.
Sorry, Jeff. Just continue to talk. I'm looking for it. It's a very dense report.
I know it's hard to find.
It is hard to find in here, man. And
Panic Fudd said Gensler is a weirdo. He gave lectures. Weirdo gave lectures at MIT about blockchain and crypto only to become the head of the SEC and attack the crypto space. Can someone explain this to me? Looks like a setup.
Well, he had training. He was the chair of the CFTC back in 2014, 2015. So I mean, he's pretty well oiled when it comes to the whole enforcement issue. So I think
you know what, Chip. I mean, you go back to it. The one mistake I think everyone makes when we think about the SEC is that the SEC is there to write legislation, but in fact, all they can do is rule on legislation that already exists, and they don't even rule. They just provide opinion and potential judgment. And then they can go after a company and say, well, we believe you're a security. And the company says, well, prove it. And then it ends up in court, So Kick ended up in court, Ripple ended up in court, and then they fight their battle. And like with Kick, with the Kin token, they said it was a security. What happened? They paid $5 million in fines. We have no idea where those fines went. Who gets to collect the 5 million? And what about the investors? There was nothing even stated in that. We've talked about that before. So, and then there were some other statements that we made that they provide guidance, and they could have a letter that shows guidance, and then it's up to the entities to decide if they're going to follow or not. If they say no, well, then you go to court, and then you can prove it in court. So it's just it's
Congress
dynamic. It really is.
Congress are the ones that really pass legislation. They're not. The SEC is not going to pass legislation. So I did find it, Jeff. It says right here in Q1 2021, there were 3 billion XRP were released out of escrow. Now remember, this is the Q1, January, February, and March of earlier this year, in line with prior quarters. And the official escrow arrangement, in total, 2.7 billion XRP were returned and subsequently put into new escrow contacts through the quarter. For more information on the escrow process, see here. All figures reported are on the transactions executed. And it says there was a slight uptick of conversion around Ripple flooding the market last year as many continue to misunderstand the mechanics of the escrow process, which are simply transfers between Ripple treasury and Ripple management accounts. In other words, those transfers do not equate to Ripple distributing XRP. And so many YouTubers out there were saying exactly the opposite, Jeff. We're saying that Ripple's distributing XRP. They're distributing XRP. So, yeah, there you go.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
Let's go.
Did you see how that's how it Doge? No.
That's how it Doge.
That's how it Doge goes. That's how it goes.
That's how it Doge.
That's how it Doge.
Vanderplatz. Joshua Vanderplatz. Vanderplatz. All right. What about the letter to Gensler asking for an investigation into Clayton and Hinman?
That's right. That's going to be filed later this week. And I think there's a lot of signatures on that as well. And you know what I expect to happen from that, Jeff? Absolutely nothing. Because Gensler is going to look at it and say, oh my God, you're right. Because if the new chair investigates the old chair, the new chair sets a precedence for investigations into former chairs who were at the SEC. And guess what? And that's not a good thing, Jeff, because you know what they do? Protect their own, protect themselves. They're not going to go out in there, and that's going to be open, closed, and tossed in a basket somewhere.
Because what's going to happen when Gensler comes out? He doesn't want to subject himself. That's exactly what would happen. You're right, 100%.
Wait, did you say comes out?
The next guy that comes in, new administration, they're like, oh, wait a minute.
Wait, comes out or goes out?
But he comes out.
Are you saying he's coming out, Jeff? Is that what you're saying?
He's coming out of office in a couple of years.
Okay, office. Gotcha. I wasn't sure where you were quite going with that.
Where's he going to go?
Yeah, so the conflicts of interest. There you go.
Bill Jack, thanks for keeping it real. There will be more when the case is dropped.
Oh, there will be.
There's a ton. I mean, there's so much to talk about to get into this thing, and it's fun. It's fun to analyze it. It's fun to talk about it because, I mean, we're all passengers kind of observing, watching this thing unfold and providing some commentary, not getting caught up in the hype of it, and I think, that's the danger, where you look for, there's too many rabbit hole jumpers, and they want to dive down and they come out with, in their mind, this is the objective. This is the outcome that they're looking for. So as soon as you go down the rabbit hole, you're going to find all the little pieces to connect it back to whatever was in your mind. You've already kind of foreshadowed your outcome, and that's not 100% going to be accurate. You can follow the pieces and come out to an outcome. But if you go in there with some preconceived notion of the outcome you're looking for, you're going to find it. And you can always find it. You can always find something. And it's not always the best way to do it. So anyhow.
But judging from what you said, Jeff, I'm kind of coming around to this whole thing. I think it was a week or two ago, we talked about Hinman and Clayton and that other enforcer dude, which I will call him enforcer dude because I don't recall his name. And it's not really important for this conversation. But, one of the things, nothing good comes out of like, let's investigate the people that were there and they ended up at blockchain companies, and they, all of them, all three of them ended up at, fintech and blockchain companies. Yeah, because that's what's hot right now. And that's where people are going, because that's how important it is to the industry. And I think it's really, I kind of think I agree with you. I don't know that it's really beneficial and helpful to go down. Let's call this case what it's about. Let's not go down rabbit holes and talk about, yeah, was it all on the up and up? Yeah, probably not. It usually never is. But in this particular scenario, Jeff, we're worried about one thing, and is XRP a security now? Probably not. I don't say, nobody thinks it's a security now. And what the SEC has to prove is in 2013. So all of this back and forth, and we had to produce this document. No, you have to give me this document. No, you have to tell me this document. In the midst of all this, Gensler comes out and says, well, probably all cryptocurrencies are securities. How does that further the conversation? Like, did he realize at that moment, like he just shoved his foot into his mouth, take foot out of mouth? I mean, it's so inappropriate. And he could have just said, like you said, hey, we're looking at stuff. Like, we got to do, in other words, play the PR game. Yeah, absolutely. It's important. And we're doing all the right things. And we have a team of people. Like, you just talk for about 3 minutes, but don't really say much. But coming out and saying that, Jeff, that is probably one of the dumbest things I've heard in a long time.
It is, man. And yeah, I want to know based on what? Based on what? You can't just come out and say a lot of them are securities. Hey, that's great. But based on what? He does, did he come out and actually specify, well, it's this A, B, C, D, E, here you go. It hits all the points. This is why the majority of them are securities. Does he state that? Did he go down and analyze it? I mean, you can come out and make these blanket statements, but like you said, it doesn't really further the conversation. And to single out, for all those who have gone and singled out Clayton and Hinman for getting these jobs, you know what? At the same point, think about it from the other side, not from their side, but think about it from the organization that hired them, whether it was payback or not payback. If you see Jay Clayton, who was the head of the SEC, he's coming out of office. Don't you think that companies are scrambling to hire this guy? Especially right now, we have a brand new, infancy level, asset class that needs regulatory clarity and is growing and expanding. And you see Jay Clayton and Hinman coming out of office. These guys are beelining it to see who can hire them first. I mean, it only makes sense. Look at Binance. You think Binance hiring a Brian Brooks, they don't have, their vision and their sights set on greater things? Of course they hired Brian Brooks. That's the guy to hire. But they didn't hire him because it's payback. They hired him because if it was payback, what good is it at this point? What are they going to hire? A Biden Jr., that doesn't know, his ass from a hole in the ground, and he runs over to China and doesn't know anything that he's doing. That's not the case. This guy, Brian Brooks, the guy's smart. He's intelligent. He knows what he's doing. Of course, Binance is going to hire him to be CEO of Binance US. They're going to take him places. So we got to look at orchestrate the whole picture. That's why it's dangerous to kind of get wrapped up in all of these political intrigues, because a lot of those political intrigues, they may or may not exist. And Chip, you said it, it doesn't matter, because you know what? Nothing's going to happen. Nothing ever happens. So let's get on with our life.
Yeah, I mean, if you want protection, man, you just have to be a government official, and I think you pretty much got, what you need. Now, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this, because again, it plays into that whole Dogecoin sort of narrative. Is like the Winkle twins, what I call them, the Winklevoss twins, Gemini exchange, now lets you earn interest on your Dogecoin, and you can earn 2.25% a year on Dogecoin. What do you think about that? You can actually earn 2.25% interest on your Doge. You think that's something interesting, or what do you think?
I'm not interested.
I'm not interested either. 2%. Next,
2%.
It's weak, right?
It's kind of weak, I guess. I mean, if you go over to Celsius, they're paying 3.5% on XRP. They're paying. Hey, we lost Chip. Chip, where'd you go? But hey, this is a great time to give a quick shout out to the fact that on Thursday night, just a couple days away. So we're talking about Thursday, May 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here, we are going to host Congressman Warren Davidson, who is the primary sponsor of the Token Taxonomy Act. And we are going to have the opportunity to ask Congressman Davidson all sorts of amazing questions about the SEC. We can ask him about the Financial Services Committee. He actually sits on the Financial Services Committee, where the Token Taxonomy Act itself is sitting in committee, waiting on some commentary and discussion. So it's going to be an amazing discussion, amazing conversation that we have coming up on Thursday. So make sure you guys set your calendars, prepare some great questions, because I think that is probably going to be a turning point. So we've had John Deaton on the show. John Deaton filing, the lawsuit on behalf of the XRP community. John Deaton over there taking action and bringing us, frontline visibility to what's happening at the SEC with his case. Now bringing Congressman Warren Davidson on to give us a front seat, to get feedback directly on what's happening, with the Token Taxonomy Act and what he's up against in Congress. And I think that's like the perfect opportunity for all of us to truly get a good grasp of what regulatory clarity actually means, because there's a drastic distinction between regulation and regulatory clarity. Because when we focus on regulatory clarity, that is giving us the rules of the road. That's kind of like paving the road and putting the lines on them and saying, this is the lane that you drive on. Regulation is putting the red light camera up on the red light and penalizing you when you go through an orange light, yellow, red, and it penalizes you and you get these tickets. Or when you get those speeding tickets when you're driving over in Switzerland and you have no idea, and they mail them to your home when you come back to the US, and these tickets start showing up. That's regulation. Regulatory clarity is the road and the lines and all of that good stuff. And that's what we want to find out about. Chip, I was telling about the excitement of having Warren Davidson on Thursday, and the frontline visibility that he's going to be able to provide for us with what's happening in the Financial Services Committee, because he sits on the committee, what he's doing with the, to respond to the SEC, to talk to us a little bit about everything. And I was comparing that to the fact that we've had John Deaton on, that has also given us a front row seat to his case on behalf of the XRP community with the SEC. So it's outstanding. I mean, we get all these pieces, man. Chip, it's fired up.
It is. And this one made me laugh here. Sky rockets in flight. XRP delight. That was funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes you guys make me laugh and I just bust out.
So, man, there's good things, man. Really, really good things. All the way.
Is that true, Jeff?
Board. It's all good stuff. Check out this. This was a couple days ago, but I just thought.
Is that true, Jeff? Vitalik Buterin from Ethereum's a lizard. Someone said he was. Someone's saying he is. I don't know if that's true or not.
John Deaton. The SEC just filed this letter. That was a couple days ago, asking for a conference on whether Ripple must turn over the legal memos it received in 2012 about XRP, and how, if marketed and sold in a specific manner, XRP could be considered an unregistered security. But it's interesting. They want to know also the legal guidance that Ripple was given. So they want to know that stuff. Could you imagine? I mean, I'm going to do a video on it later, and I kind of came up with this whole narrative on, to explain what that's like, with the SEC now coming to Ripple and saying, we want to see your attorney's recommendations back in 2012, when nobody knew about cryptocurrency. The SEC had no visibility to cryptocurrency. It was all brand new to everybody. And they want to look at it now, like after 8 years of development. Now people know about it, but they want to look at recommendations back then.
Yeah, and it's kind of silly because it doesn't have any bearing. It just goes to show you how incredibly weak their case is, right? If you're going to sit there and say, oh, and we already know that they said, well, it could be a security. Well, yeah, it could be, but it also could have a utility. It could have a bunch of different things. I just think it's a really sad state for them to go like, well, you see that And who cares? I mean, you know what? Go to 3 different attorneys, you get 3 different pieces of advice. And we already know that they received a piece of advice and said, well, it could be a security. Well, you know why they're saying that? Because nobody knew, because there's no regulation around it. So nobody knows if it's a security. But also, too, what did attorneys know? Who specialized in that? Jeff, do you remember back in the like mid 90s, like say 95, 96, when when the web was just starting getting going, somebody, instead of coming up, they were called webmasters. I'm the webmasters. I'm the web mistress. And they would handle the website, right? They were the webmasters.
That's right.
Well, that term lasted about a year and a half, right? Because it evolved, the space evolved, and other things kind of came along. And you would never, if you hear somebody say they're webmaster now, you'd be like, from what era? From what decade? The 90s? That's 30 years ago, man. And it's something you wouldn't see that anymore. The same way someone goes like, it could be a security, but we don't know. There's no freaking clarity around it, right?
That's hilarious. They haven't let the guy out of the basement. It's his first time out of the basement. I'm still the webmaster. I'm the webmaster. And then the women would be like, I'm the web mistress. I'm the mistress.
All that kind of weird stuff. And it's like, I'm going to put that in my new title. It's like, yeah, go over. You can find me on all socials, and you can know Chip. Yeah, Chip, better known as Webmaster. It's ridiculous, Jeff.
That's awesome.
Hey, good morning. Top of the morning to you from the UK. Bank of England now talks about its own crypto. Of course they do.
Right.
Yeah, after they tear down at the legitimate crypto, they got to talk about their own. And at least Carney, Mark Carney, I think he was wasn't he the last governor of the Bank of England, if I remember correctly? And this new guy is already, they all go to a meeting, and they're like in Zoom calls like this. They're sitting on a Zoom call, and they're like, what do we do? Say that Bitcoin is bad. You'll lose all your money. If you invest in it, you'll lose all your money. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And so now they're all parroting the same thing, and Lagarde's like, Bitcoin is bad. And then you have Gensler, Bitcoin is probably a security. They're all basically doing the same exact thing.
Is that Gensler said it exactly?
Not really. He's actually a really bright individual. But it's just the whole idea of they're probably all securities. Yeah, probably. Who knows?
Rob wants to know if Ripple sold me the shirt.
No, man.
It's my shirt's a security.
No, you can buy that over on the chain.merch on the chain.shop. Sorry.
If you go to on the chain.shop, you can go check out these cool XRP. I don't know 100%. I think it's magic shirts. Really, really cool, man. Nice material too. I love this shirt. But we are selling plots on the lemon tree, so we can harvest it for you, and you don't have to do anything.
Oh,
we'll water the tree for you. We'll pick the lemons, and we can bring the lemons to market for you.
Geez, Jeff, that sounds an awful lot like Howie with the oranges.
Oh yeah, but it's different because it's just a tree. It's a lemon tree, so it's drastically different.
Yeah, and also take the time here to drop the channel on the other channel you guys can subscribe to. We do short form videos. I have an 8-minute video dropping tomorrow morning, allegedly. 8 minutes, Jeff. That's pretty short for me.
That's pretty short.
Yeah. Allegedly. So, and here you go, right here. Here's the shop one. You can go over there and pick out some cool stuff.
We're almost doing 2 videos a day. It's outstanding. I've got a video I'm going to work on too. So we have videos dropping over there. Google's not so happy with us. They're messing with the algorithm.
They're not happy at all with this, Jeff.
Not letting the video get out. So we're trying to break the algorithm and finally get it kicked into gear. It takes a little bit, but that'll happen eventually. And Joshua Vanderplatz is saying that I should wear this shirt on the when we bring.
Oh no, Jeff. No, I think I'm gonna wear a jacket. I'm gonna wear a jacket with a nice shirt, because this is like big time, Jeff. I can't be wearing his t-shirts. By the way, I saw my mom for Mother's yesterday, and she goes, I don't like that shirt you wear. I'm like, what shirt? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, this shirt you wear on the air, on that shower thing you do. It doesn't fit you right. I don't like the neck. I'm like, Mom, can we just have a good time Mother's Day here? Can we just enjoy ourselves here for a moment? So she didn't like it. So Mom, if you're watching right now, we'll dress up when we have Representative From where the House of Representatives, we will have on Warren Davidson, and I think I might wear a jacket. Jeff, you gonna wear a jacket and a shirt?
Might just wear a shirt. I don't know.
I'm gonna wear a jacket.
Lights.
I
So
might
we'll
wear
have
a
to see.
jacket. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. Yeah, I might not. Yeah, it might be a
Hey,
little.
XRP Panic is saying I should wear the flashy shirt. I wore it last night. Did you
Oh,
notice that all the bling going when we were with Charlie Silver from Permission, where you get to protect your data? So nice. We got Toot Frey buying tickets to Texas from Michigan. Why
yeah.
am I taking to Texas from Michigan? Yeah, get the heck out of Michigan. Man, you know what? It's really bad up there. They need some crypto sprinkled into the water up
They
there.
do.
In man, the restaurants going out of business. Things are going to get really bad for them, but they definitely need a little bit of crypto magic. That'd be really cool. XRP Sweden is saying no black jacket and black background this time.
Oh,
How about
jeez.
that? Yeah, that's a good idea. I do it one
All my-
time and he's 100% right. That was a disaster. That was a disaster.
Well, that's the kind of fun thing about evolving too. It's like, you got to go through those times and you're like, hey, it's just kind of what happens like that. So this time wear a bright red jacket, like an Elvis jacket, flip up the collar, right? Wear some big ass cool shades, like some Wayfarers or something, right? Get a big old stogie hanging out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey man, here, you got to check this out.
Look at Suarez. He doesn't look happy.
Doesn't, man. He's mad. He's angry. You know why he's angry? Because there's trillions of dollars in stimulus and they're just printing money like crazy. And you know what? But the mayor of Miami is cool, because the guy is trying to make Miami the crypto city. He's looking at Wyoming and he goes, if the state of Wyoming can do it, Miami can do it. And we got to bring crypto to Miami. But then he takes it a step further. He's looking at this $1.9 trillion in stimulus. And he goes, oh my God, inflation. And he says that it's definitely going to go up in terms of Bitcoin, because I don't think people are going to want to stay in dollar denominated currencies. And he wants Miami to be the crypto city. So he's putting money over into Bitcoin because he sees the writing on the wall. Chip, Miami, it's right there. It's
but I
just
think
down. It's just over the border.
and I like what he's trying to do, but I don't think the city's the right way to settle it. I think what you have to do is roll it up to the state. Wyoming. We talk about Wyoming, right? So I'm all down with the whole idea of Miami, but let's talk about the state of Florida, because there's all kinds of places. You want to attract a big swath of great smart people and attract them here. Blockchain. It's like, yeah, some are going to move to Miami, some might move to Jacksonville, some might set up shop outside of Orlando or Tampa or Naples, or Key West. I mean, you want to be able to, so it's friendly on a state level, and with the state, you can pass legislation. So saying I'm going to bring people to Miami, it comes down to the same old thing. Look, the legislators have to pass and enact stuff the same way they did in Wyoming to make it crypto friendly. It's like, I love what he's trying to do in Miami, but I think it's time to roll it up to the state level. He's getting enough recognition for what he's doing. But you know what I'm saying, Jeff? I mean, do you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I do agree. It starts at the city, but this guy, 100%, it's got to go to the state. You can only do so much at the city level. It's not like he, can make crypto the denomination of Miami, but they can definitely attract a lot of people down there. But the one thing I'll tell you what, before our meeting on Thursday with Warren Davidson, I'm actually hosting a meeting just right before that with someone that is running for the state house. Well, she's coming to visit the meeting. She's going to introduce herself. She's going to be running for the state house of Florida, young, brand new to politics.
Nice.
Not sure if she'll win, but she's getting a good head start. But this is the beginning. It's people like that. We start talking to them and educating them on crypto, and then we get them into the state house and we set them loose. We got to start tapping into our state representatives in Florida and elsewhere. And who just said no more people in Miami? I agree. It's Ani said, please no more people in Miami. There's too much traffic, too many people. If you want to find a great place, if you're coming from out of state or from other parts of the world, check out the West Coast. The West Coast of Florida. Go to Tampa. Go north of Tampa. Leave us alone down here in the southern part of Florida because it's too crowded. And the sandy beaches on the West Coast, it's like powder. It's great. You guys are going to love it. Go to the West Coast. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, they come down, they flee New York, the Republic of oppressive New York, or Michigan, or, a lot of people are moving from California to Texas, and then they bring all of their garbage with them and dump it right in our front lawn. And that's not cool. It's like, you left for a reason. Don't vote for that garbage again. We don't want to, because I heard from somebody today in a professional level that said the governor is not allowing us to call people and because of the pandemic. And I'm like, what? Yeah, we've been warned. We've been warned. A professional doing their job was warned by Governor Cuomo, saying that if you are caught doing this, calling somebody, Jeff, because I guess it goes through the phone line. Hello? Yeah, it goes through the line, right? So you call somebody and they're not allowed to call dude, this is getting out of hand. They're not allowed to call somebody. And I was like, at least in the Matrix, right? The Matrix, they had to go to, which I thought was weird. They had to go to they couldn't go through a digital phone. They had to go through an analog phone, but it was a digital world. I don't know. That whole thing threw me off. I didn't quite understand that. But
I should have my analog phone here. Oh, well.
Well, the bottom line is you can't even call anyone in New York if you're in this line of business. It's like, oh, no, you can't call people. What? I mean, I understand if you say like you can't show up there. Oh, I don't really understand it, but I'm just saying I get the logic behind it. But man.
Hey, so man, if you're down in Latin America, Chip, Mercado Libre?
Yeah, of course.
Right? It's a great thing. I invested in it once a while back. But anyhow, it's man, so they're disclosing that their treasury is doing a Bitcoin buy. That's exciting, man. I mean, they're looking at MicroStrategy making billions. They're looking at Elon Musk with Tesla making billions. And of course, there's an ad that pops up.
Luca. My name is Luca. I live on the second floor.
But here we go. They purchased $7.8 million in Bitcoin. And they're disclosing within our indefinite lived intangible assets. All right.
I'd like to know exactly. So they're disclosing it now, or they just purchased it? Because I saw that article. I didn't know if they had purchased it. Like they were disclosing it.
Well, it says the exact time of the purchase is unclear. However, the financial results cover the first quarter ending March. So at some point last quarter.
That's very wise. It's great to see that you have a Latin American company getting in on the action, because we've heard of a lot of U.S. companies, probably some European companies, but this is what we're doing. What we're talking about right now is a global event. This isn't, Jeff and I will talk about things that are happening in the U.S., but this is global. People are dealing with these similar set of problems everywhere, wherever you live, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Mexico, and sorry, I'm not trying to just single out North America, although it's great being in North America. Australia or Asia, whatever it is, anywhere over in Europe, you got Lagarde coming out and saying cryptocurrencies are bad. Meanwhile, she was hobnobbing with, not too long ago with Garlinghouse. That's always a weird picture they use with the eyes.
Look at that. Look at those eyes. She's looking down. It's like she's way up here and she's like royalty. She's regal looking down. Now she's the head of the ECB, the European Central Bank, and she's looking down on all the peons down there and saying cryptocurrencies are prone to money laundering because money launderers like it when it's real slow and expensive to move their money around. That's typically how they like laundering, and there's no value. So lose all your money. Be prepared.
Yeah, why would you launder on the blockchain when it's totally trackable when you can just use a bank? Banks are awesome for laundering money, man. They're still one of the best bets going. Because they go like, oh, did we do something wrong? They go like, oops.
Slap on the wrist, a couple $1 million in fines. And Deutsche Bank has been caught up multiple times. They
all have, Jeff. It's just billions of dollars every year. They get caught up and they pay a little fine. And they're like, that's all we have to pay? Hell, game on. Let's continue to do this. Thank you for that, Connie. Connie says, please hit the like, the subscribe, notifications. If it's your first time here, please do that. And even if it's your second time here, thanks for coming back. Really appreciate you. And you can click down below and then subscribe to our other channel as well, which I'll drop in here real quick. And but consider subscribing to that channel as well. We always drop some cool content over there.
And so they should hit that subscribe here and there. Hit them both. Go to both.
Well, Jeff, I gotta say, people go like, well, Chip and Jeff, why are you consistently saying that? You want to know why? Because 70% of the people that watch our videos aren't subscribers. It seems odd to me, but that's the case. I mean, 70% of people that watch our videos are not subscribers. I think that number's gotten a little bit better.
No, it's more like, I think it's flipped. It's more like 40, 60 during the live stream after the fact, then it goes up considerably.
Right. But even on the other channel, it's pretty high. I think it's like 65%. Well, it means more than half of the people don't subscribe. So that's why we always say it. It's like not like something we enjoy saying, like, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And you'd be surprised and shocked when you guys go watch one of our upload videos. When you hit that thumbs up, you put a comment in there, those things wake up and tickle the algorithm of YouTube. They really do make a big deal. So
yep. And guess what? On Thursday, for anyone who just bounced in here, make sure you go check it out, hit the reservation or reminder button or whatever. But we're going to be here with Congressman Warren Davidson.
The entire hour.
The sponsor, the entire hour, the sponsor of the Token
Taxonomy Act. Yeah.
The outstanding. It's going to be a great night on Thursday. Looking forward to it.
That's all I have, Jeff. You got anything?
That's it. And I guess tomorrow night's another night, Chip. I think you're going to be riding solo tomorrow night because I'll be
doing solo because I know Jeff's got a conference to attend, and we'll be just having fun together. We'll be doing it. We'll be having fun. We'll be freezing up left and right like we always should. We would do whatever. And that'll be it. That's what we'll do. So
see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.